Hey, what's up? It's Sifu Kuttel, and in this video, we're going to be doing a technique for the military Da Dao, just like this one I have here from LK Chen. Now, I have a couple of things I want to talk about before we get into the technique, but this one I really like because it is one of the more practical techniques from the book written in 1933. Now, before we go any further, I do want to mention this technique comes from the 1933 manual, Practical Techniques for the Military Saber, and I will leave a link down below. You can actually download the digital copy just like I have, and you can go through it for yourself. There are things that you have to remember that can be lost in translation. There could be colloquialisms from the era. There could be just translation errors from directly translating from Chinese to English, and there could be things that are expected to be known from a martial arts background. So there's a lot of different factors in here when it comes to looking at the old manuals, especially in a different language, and understanding what is going on, because you can't just go by a single picture. With that said, I also want to talk about how this technique relates to a common fist fighting technique. So let's get into that first, understand that, and then we'll use the saber afterwards. So put your swords down, get your fists up, let's do this technique. One of the more commonly known concepts in attack and defense when it comes to fist fighting is a sidestep. So when it comes down to the sidestep, what we're trying to do is deal with an oncoming attack. That's a straight line attack. So somebody's coming in with a nice big committed punch. Remember, this is not your little jabs that we're trying to deal with here. We're dealing with planting the foot and then trying to drive in with that punch. Now, I can technically move backwards. This is fine. I'm out of reach from my opponent, but at the same time, I have no tactical advantage from that step. So the side step is used to not only get out of the range of the punch, but get us to a position where we can counterattack. Now, I cannot just step simply to the side because, again, I'm not going to be able to reach my opponent. So ideally, I need to be able to move sideways out of the line of fire. So the oncoming attack, I want to move sideways, but I also want to move forward. So typically this is done with a diagonal advancing step, and then the other step that's going to reset the stance, so we're back to our good stance, and also pull that side of my body offline. Okay. Now, how this typically works is as this punch is coming in, I'm stepping forward and diagonal. The punch is now going past me, and now I have my tactical shots. I have my distance that I want to be at, and they're typically closed off because we want to step towards the outside. Now, that's just kind of the overview of sidestepping, but we're going to apply the same thing with the sword. So now grab your sword and let's get to work. Now, when we're using the sword, we're basically going to be using the same footwork. If you have the time and you have more distance than is required for a simple quick sidestep, you can always either take a half step forward and then sidestep, or even a crossing step to get even further forward. But for the most part, we want to get used to just the last part of it, getting ourselves off angle and then attacking over the top. Now also remember that this is for defense against a bayonet thrust. So we have more reach with their weapon. We're probably going to catch it sooner, and then we may not be able to reach the body right away. So we're actually going to be attacking to the arms, the front hand, the back hand, the forearms, and then if we get close enough, then we can attack towards the body. But this is going to be a fairly simple technique. So we'll start with our lead leg forward, that's the same as our dominant hand forward, and then we'll be taking that side step, getting ourselves offline, and at the same time, as this is coming in, it's coming in towards the inside. So I'm going to use a covering technique. And you have to keep in mind that this is called deflect. So I'm not trying to press down and hold their weapon down. They're in motion moving straight forward. I'm trying to redirect enough to where as it continues forward, it's not going to hit me. Okay, so when we actually use this to deflect, I'm going to come over the top, and you can think of this as a press, but I want to have more speed on this one to tap and push this one out of the way. But I don't want to waste my energy in simply doing that. I want to turn this into a right away counterattack. The ideal is that as soon as this makes contact and I've already started to deflect them, I'm already moving in for my attack. So if we were to really break this down into two separate movements, it would be a 1, 2. And we could be attacking towards the hand, or we can attack towards the head. But things want to move faster. We don't really want to make this two separate motions. This is going to be more of a tap and then right away into our next technique. So it moves really fast together. Again, it's just a quick scooping pop and then right into our cut. The blade will lead right into the hand or the forearms, make them drop their weapon, and then we have a chance to attack with a more devastating strike. Or if we're lucky, maybe we do have that move in and we end up all the way up towards them. We actually can complete it in one motion. So again, as we go over this and as you're learning this, take this into a few steps. You can work on simply getting the deflection and then attack. And then when you get comfortable with that, then you can move to footwork, splitting it up, 1, 2. So as I step, 1, 2, and then as you get more comfortable with that, tie it all together, make it one fluid motion, 1, 2. Deflect, block theirs, and attack as well, all in a single motion. Okay. So that's going to do it for this video. Now, this is actually only half of the technique. In the manual, he covers when the bayonet is attacking from either side of our sword. So we specifically focused on dealing with it on one side. Now, it is pretty much the same thing. We're going to tilt the blade out to swat down and then move in forward. But the footwork is going to be different because we have a different foot forward in the beginning of the technique. So that's something you can explore with. You can go over the description in his book. And of course, I will leave a link to that digital file down below. And of course, also for the sword, if you want to get this military Da Dao from LK Chen, all the information will be down below. Now, if you enjoyed this technique, you want to go over more in the manual, you want to see more, let me know. I'm fine with going over more of these techniques. It's quite a simple manual. There's not a lot to it, and there's quite a few different translations and interpretations out there. So I would suggest you go and explore and look at how some other people have explained this exact technique or other techniques in the manual. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next.